Hi, this is Lucy and welcome to another Fallout 76 Building 101 episode. Today I have built another tiny house. I am rather partial to tiny houses. I don't live in one. I'm not sure I could live in one with 3 cats. I do, however, have a small house. I saw this house, or the inspiration for this house, on a YouTube video. It was a house in LA that was built on a garage plot. And I really liked it, so I thought I would have a go at building it in 76. Today I'm going to try and keep things a bit more snappy, so if I'm putting lots of walls on, I'll just tell you to put the walls on, show you how to do one, and then cut to the next part. There are some complex things in this build, but you don't have to do it all. It would probably look just as good if it were a little bit more simple. So I'm going to start with the tour, so let's get to it. This is the house. I have double walled it and I used the metal mainly because of this offset wall. The offset wall was done for 2 reasons. The first being so that I could get the road number up. I couldn't decide what number to use, but Blue suggested 556, so I think that works. The house looks longer than it is because it has an enclosed courtyard garden at the back. I've used this weapon rack to simulate a coat hook. There's a small kitchen. I used these wooden counters to create a breakfast bar. I had a bit of a dough moment recently. Seeing a YouTuber use these. I've pushed these together manually before to make a double width counter. If you put an end piece on and then another end piece, they will all snap together and then you can just go in whichever direction you want. So that makes it much easier. Small but compact. I tried not to put too much clutter in. I did feel the need to put a refrigerator in, so the icebox is on the end of the counter here. I wasn't 100% happy with these sofas. I could not find anything that I felt really fit in this build. I have seen a data mine that we may be getting modular sofas at some point in the future, and I think that would look great in this corner, but not available yet. I have put a few items on this bookshelf using the merge glitch because I am back at my spot in New Gad and there is an area that you can merge items. There is an outdoor eating area which I have put a glazed roof over so that when it rains, like it looks like it's going to now, you can sit out and eat without getting wet. And I have merged a mushroom light into the punch bowl. I was amazed actually at how many crops I got into one tile. I got 2 mute fruit, 2 potatoes and I think 9 carrots in there. But obviously if you wanted more crops you could fit them in. There is an elevated viewing platform here so you can sit and watch the view. Because this camp has double metal walls, it is actually quite robust. I'm not sure yet how tough the glass is. So far nothing's broken anything in this camp, and it's been up a few days, so... Oh, the sun is coming out. Got the new... They're very Art Deco masks. I know that there was something similar in Fallout 4. I think that's probably where they come from. Upstairs, at the top of the stairs, we have a small reading nook. I messed around with different railings for a while and wasn't happy with any of them, so I decided, because there's so much glass in this house, to use the glass walls and doorways without doors to create this railing, I guess. Well, you definitely can't fall down. I put a floor piece in here and then sort of made these walls innies, but this one on the end I had to make an outie because otherwise I couldn't get the ladder on. This is the new Vault-Tec bed from the current scoreboard, and I use sort of matching furniture in here. Thank you to Seren for putting this down in my camp. I have been looking in Watoga for a couple of weeks and I cannot find this plan. I've looked on different characters, I've asked friends to look, to no avail. I need to find Graham, apparently he sometimes has it. I think this desk as well came from the scoreboard, and this is the overseer's chair from Nuclear Winter. This is the other reason I did the offset wall. I have a very small bathroom. I have built a shower. Unfortunately it doesn't work, and I have the clean toilet, again from this season's scoreboard. This is the second time I built this camp because it was a new build for me, so I first built it as an experiment and made lots of changes, and then I tore it down and rebuilt it so that I could work out the build order for the video. However, I had a slight problem with these floors. I wanted to use the floors, the light wood, as I have downstairs, and I assumed if I turned all these walls into doorways that I could lift this half floor. I can't. I'm not clear why, but it has something to do with this inset wall. However, thank you CDL, a friend of mine, we spent some time earlier in the week working out a way to change the build order, and I will be doing that build order in the video so that we can take this floor out and put a full piece in. Unfortunately, even though we get half and quarter floors, Bethesda have not seen fit to give us any of the patterned ones. You only get those on the full floor pieces, which in my opinion is pretty lazy and pretty shoddy, to be honest. Upstairs I have put the workshop because I wanted the camp to be completely contained. But if you wanted to make this into a deck or put crops up here, that's up to you. The camp is powered by 2 solar panels, and you may notice again, like my last video, I have no conduits visible. I thought the mat trick was really good, but I didn't like having the mats sticking out, so I had a quick experiment to see what else you could use, and I used these little plant pots and that worked fine. If you don't have these, obviously they were an Atom Store thing, try other things. I have actually had success with the little mushroom lights. It does give you an interesting glow, like a night light, which doesn't look wrong. It's just experiment with what you've got and see how it goes. So that's it for the tour. Let's get on with the build. So I've moved my camp and placed my widget back down here. I tend to line it up in the middle with part of the road showing, and I line it up with this irradiated corpse. If you don't know where I am, I'm near Newgad. My camp is here, between Outlook Cabin and Somersville. The first thing I always do is try and line up the floor with the line on the road. That is definitely not straight. The actual house is 2 by 3. With a 2-tile porch, and the garden area is the lower courtyard is 4 with the upper deck being 2 by 2, 2 by 1 even. If you don't know, you can raise a floor by half wall height by using this. If you have this problem and you can't remove it, one of the ways I've found around this, and it does sometimes happen, is to put a wall down, turn it into a door, remove these, and then you should be able to snap a floor to it like that. And we're simply going to put some stone steps in here. Just remove the wall. As the weather was so dismal and I need you to be able to see what I'm doing, I decided to swap servers. So the first thing we're going to do is put a ladder down and a floor up. We're going to build the shower. Now, the way I'm going to do this might seem a bit insane, but I have 2 very complicated things right next to each other and the build order is horrendous. So oh, for goodness sake. Right, this is over the front of the house. This is sort of basically a scaffold, and I'm going to take this floor out. Now, you may have noticed that the shower head is simply a floating conduit. But the problem is, if you put the conduit on something, take it away, leave the shower head there, and then remove this floor, the conduit also disappears. And we are going to have to remove that floor in the next part. So I found a workaround. I think this video has been, the development of this video has been the longest of all of the builds I've done. I think I'm going to build a cottage next time. Because we are double walling this section, you need a floor the other side. I am going to put wallpaper on this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build up from the floor, from the ground. And I blueprinted my bizarre structure. Here we go. What this is 1, 2, 3 of these shelves with a stash box on the top. And I'm going to line this up. I have found lately, for some reason, that it's quite difficult to stack certain objects, stack more than 2 of them for some reason. But these shelves work just fine. So you can see the stash box is almost touching the wall. Now I'm going to do this quick and dirty to save time, but it is a bit finicky. What we're going to do is use this power connector. It is a power radiator. And we're going to stick this up here so that it is almost, well, it could go back a little bit. Touching the wall. We need to be able to get the wall on afterwards. The wallpaper does give you a little bit of leeway. Looks relatively straight. We're now going to remove the wall because when we take the bookcases away, the conduit will disappear. I usually do two just to make sure. So if we now store or scrap this bookshelf or this shelf, you will see these conduits are still here, but the shower head has disappeared. So we will put the shower head back on and remove the pieces behind it. And hopefully the wall will go back on. And there you have your shower head. Right, the next thing we're going to do is put the floors on. Now, in here we're going to put 2 half floors temporarily. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a temporary staircase up the side of the building so that we can take the stairs out. It's always worth, if you are creating temporary floors and stairs, to maybe use a different floor piece so that you know which pieces need to come out. I absolutely detest these floors. They are such a pain in the proverbial. Come on, go in. That is actually one we will be removing, as is this one. And what we're going to do is build the glass panels here. Now I'm going to put the stairs back in, and I used this staircase. And we're going to do the same at the top. We're going to build a glass shelter so that the rain doesn't get in your house. And now we've got this problem. This does work. I do not know why it's being such a pain today. Need that one. Let's take that one off. I wish that for once one of my videos would just go perfectly. But we have done it. I'm going to put a glass roof on that. Okay. And then, hopefully, put a staircase in here. You do have a problem with the staircase, getting the staircase on. Try and use the slimmest staircase you can. There we go. This is obviously the staircase I used, and then you should just be able to swap it to the one that you want. The next thing we are going to do is this wall in the bathroom. Now if we take these floors up, these floors are not connected to this ladder or either ladder, so we need to connect them. Just check that they will come up, and they will. We're going to put two half metal doorways. And then we're going to take these floors out and replace it with one. Right, it doesn't look anything like a house, but I'm now going to remove this temporary staircase because I need that space for something else. We need to create our offset for the wall, and I saw someone on YouTube do this recently, and they did it manually. But there is a really easy way to create an offset foundation just using ladders and floors. Because if you add a half floor, and then another staircase down. If you snap a foundation to this, your foundation will be offset by half. Just going to pull these forward. Now this foundation here, do not store it because your shower head is somehow dynamically connected to it. So we are gonna go upstairs for the next bit. If these pieces are confusing you, you can take these outer scaffolding pieces off at the front. Now all we need to do is move these pieces back. We can put our front deck porch back on. Take all these down. Or just store it. And we are starting to get there. Front door. For the kitchen and bathroom window, I did a double half metal wall. Which I then flamer trapped. And I put a glass half wall on top. Exactly the same upstairs in the bathroom. All of the walls all the way to here are going to be double metal walls. So hopefully you know the drill. So once you've done that, it should look something like this. Now when you're double walling the upper bathroom walls, be aware to take this glass piece out, because otherwise it won't let you put two walls up here. So take the glass out before you do those and then put it back on afterwards. Now all you need to do is convert these all to walls. You should have something like this. Now I haven't converted all of these walls on this side because I'm going to be putting power conduits in them. Now I blueprinted my little doohickey. You put 2 down. And then once you've connected them, you move them, and that should keep the connection. They're a bit fiddly to pick up. If you want to add more, connect it. Move it. Place it. If you don't do that first move, it will not connect. This one is done the same, and you just need one at the very top. Oops. You need one for the 3rd floor, or 2nd floor if you're in the UK, because we don't count the 1st. And this one you will connect to your generators. As you can see, the connectors are all powered up. So we can now convert these doors to walls as well. The next thing I'm going to do is quickly put a pillar on for the glass ceiling. To do this, I am just going to put a floor down, then a half floor. Come on, you little. Sometimes you can change an angle and it works. I have never met a game that is so glitchy for building. You can now just put your glass ceilings on there. We have a glass wall here and a glass doorway here. These sometimes can offset, so just make sure that they're lined up. And two glass walls here. I used glass half walls all the way around the top. And on the viewing platform. It's getting a bit dark, so I'm going to finish up and come back in the morning to add wallpaper. Right, for the wallpaper, I used grey on these outside pieces. Obviously you can use any colour you want. For these panels I used the orange and I used white for these offset wall, partly because I like the contrast, but also because whatever you colour this wall will also show on the inside, and the whole of the inside was just done with the white. Although it's actually cream, isn't it? You will notice that when you pass the conduit up to the top, there is it is sticking out slightly. And you may be able to see the wire. Try and get it as close to the glass wall at the top as you can. And for the shower area, I used the white tile on this half piece. I think my shower could have been centered a little bit better, but I was just trying to be quick. For the outside, again, I just did the courtyard in the grey. There are a couple of finishing touches I just want to show you. All of the external doors I used this door because we do not have a nice glass door to go with these glass pieces, and it's the only one I thought went with the build. I tend to like to add a colourful door, but it wasn't going to happen in this build. And to finish the shower off, I used a couple of black rubber mats on the floor. And to simulate a shower controls, I did try various switches which I didn't think looked very good. I actually used one of the Greek letters from Biv's Quest, and I think it was Xi. Or if you're American, probably XI. If you don't have the new toilet, just put the old toilet in. The door for the shower, I used the vault door. Now you may notice that if you try and put the vault door in, it won't snap in. So what you need to do is put one in that will snap and then just change it, and you have your vault door. So the build is complete, and I have to say this is the most complicated build video I've ever done. It has taken me 4 days just to do the filming for this video because I have had to refilm so many parts of it. Partly because just trying to work out the build order and fixing one thing and creating more problems. It's January, I'm in the UK and we're in full lockdown over here because COVID is out of control. Not so much in the area I live in, but it was going rampant in London, so they were trying to do damage limitation. I've had problems getting food this week. I'm run down and I could really do with a break. So I'm probably not going to put a video out next week. I have got plans. I am working on other projects. I'm doing a vault build on my main character, and I have a plan of what to do next on Nora's Pharmacy. But 4 days producing a video is just a bit too much really, and that doesn't include the original build. So it's been a lot. I will be back, don't worry, I'm just having a short break. If you have any comments or questions about the build, please let me know. That's all from me today. Thank you for watching.